Thursday before the Super Bowl, we will learn who the NFL MVP is, the offensive and defensive players of the year, and much more. One guy's up for NFL MVP, but not up for Offensive Player of the Year. Let's just go ahead and announce the finalists. Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Lamar Jackson. Colt, who is this year's MVP?
Josh Allen all day. Look at his body of work, what he accomplished. Lamar Jackson was insane, incredible, definitely worthy of it. It would be up to those two for me. But Josh Allen's regular season, the games he played, what they accomplished, the jump that he made from last year to this year, it's just incredible. And that would be my vote.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think statistically, you got to go Joe Burrow and maybe Saquon Barkley for what they did. I got to go Josh Allen for what he did at Buffalo. Team that not many people gave a chance to do that well this year with all the losses that they had. But yeah, I like Josh Allen.
I think it's Lamar Jackson. I think it's a regular season award. Lamar Jackson had his best statistical year. I think Lamar Jackson gets it.
Yeah, I'm literally just going with context clues here, to be honest with you. I think the fact that Josh Allen is up for MVP and not Offensive Player of the Year means he's going to win MVP because Lamar is up for Offensive Player of the Year. I think Josh Allen wins MVP, and then obviously we'll get to Player of the Year, and that's where I think Lamar is. But let's dive into Defensive Player of the Year. The finalists this year: Zach Bond, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, phenomenal year, Pat Surtain, and TJ Watt. Colt, start with you. Who do you got?
All these guys are ridiculous. I mean, how many times has Myles Garrett won it? You know, Trey Hendrickson came on strong late in the year. Like, he's relentless. Just him and TJ Watt. If it was up to me, it's hard, but I think Myles Garrett's the best defensive player in the NFL. I listen to offensive linemen talk. I listen to left tackles talk. You know, those discussions are always going on in group chats. And when you're in the locker room, like, everybody says that he's the hardest guy on the planet to block. And so to me, I think he wins it again.
Jay, who do you got?
Patrick Surtain's going to win it. He only gave up like 28 completions all year. I mean, that's insane. Quarterback rating against him is like the lowest in the history. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. Yeah, I'd go Surtain, then Zach Bond, then I'd go TJ Watt, then I'd go Hendrickson, and then I'd go Garrett.
You're an absolute idiot.
Myles Garrett last. Wow.
I don't know. They're all close.
I think it's Myles Garrett. Look, he's the best non-quarterback in the NFL. He's a game wrecker. They were down in every single game. Like, he never had a chance to pin his ears back, and he still comes out with incredible statistics. I like Zach Bond too. I think the story plays there on that one. He has been the leader of the best defense in the NFL, making key plays, forced fumbles at critical times throughout the game. I think Zach Bond is deserving of the award.
I think Myles Garrett's incredible. I think all these guys are incredible, but I think Zach Bond, we love stories in America. We love a feel-good story. This is a guy that came from low level on a roster to one of the best statistical years on defense. He was the leader of one of the best teams, a team that's going to the Super Bowl. I go with Zach Bond.
Love that pick.
All right, let's dive into Offensive Player of the Year. We got Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Jamar Chase. Jay, who do you have?
You make a case for all of them, AQ. I could make a case for all of them. It was close, Jamar Chase. Oh, my God, Triple Crown, so close. I'm going to go Saquon Barkley. The impact he had on the Philadelphia Eagles is obviously on display in a couple weeks. So I'll go Saquon Barkley.
Colt, who do you got?
It would be wild if Lamar Jackson does not get any of these honors. I went Josh Allen for the NFL MVP discussion. I think he is the NFL MVP, but I think Lamar Jackson is like neck and neck. I especially like Joe Burrow. Performing week to week like he did. No one in the NFL wanted to see the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs if they snuck in at the end the way that they were playing. They could definitely be in the Super Bowl now, and that's all because of Joe Burrow. He weathered the storm. He played like a true pro, but at the end of the day, like Lamar Jackson, I mean, you got to go with him for the Player of the Year, hands down.
All right, Justin, who do you got for Offensive Player of the Year?
I'm going Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Put the team on his back. I wanted to give him MVP. If he would have broke the rushing record after standing for 40 years, I would have given him the MVP. He's probably going to break the record for all-time regular season and postseason rushing records set by Terrell Davis, so that'll be a great honor that he'll get. He deserves an award this year. It's going to be a little upsetting for some of these other guys, but Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year.
Quick follow-up to that. So you think with the year that Josh Allen had, he doesn't deserve a single award, huh?
Well, he's not up for Offensive Player of the Year, and I gave it to Lamar for MVP. I get where you're going with this. Like, you're seeing the writing on the wall. Like, they're already telling us, or are they just playing games with us right now? Are they, reverse engineering something?
Let's be honest, man. We can give these guys, I mean, Joe Burrow can be MVP Player of the Year. Jamar Chase, how do you leave him out of the equation, man? He's a Triple Crown winner. Hadn't happened in forever.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp just did it 3 years ago?
That was a long time ago. I don't know. There's a lot of good, worthy players.
Let's be honest. It's the NFL. Everybody's good. It's the reason they're there. But the purpose is to pick, right? We pick who we think it is. And
thank you.
The two best players in the NFL this year, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Saquon Barkley.
Jay just needs to name every person in it to give him out.
All right, well, I'm going with Lamar. Let's go on to Rookie of the Year. I think if we all don't have the same answer on this one, I think one of us is crazy. But we'll start with Jay. I know where he's going.
Jayden Daniels, man, it's not even close. If anybody votes for anybody other than Jayden Daniels, I got to find out who it is. And we got to revoke his voting card. However many people vote should be 100 to nothing, 1,000 to nothing. It's not even close. Jayden Daniels, unbelievable year. He's a great kid, works his ass off, and took the Commanders from the doldrums, the bottom of the NFC East, to winning a division game and playing for the NFC Championship. Jayden Daniels, great year.
Yeah, Jayden Daniels, man, all the way. I think Brock Bowers is good. He obviously had like a record-breaking tight end season for the Raiders as a rookie, but nobody came close to having the year that Jayden Daniels had. He runs away with this one as the offensive MVP.
Jayden Daniels, next question.
Jayden Daniels as well. Let's go to the finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, this could go to anybody. Cooper DeJean, Braden Fisk from the LA Rams, Quinyon Mitchell, Chop Robinson, interesting that he's in there from the Miami Dolphins, and Jared Verse also from the LA Rams. Who do you got, Jay?
I got Jared Verse. You know, I think when you turn on the film, I think he shows up a lot. The consistency of Jared Verse, I think he gets it hands down. I like what Fisk did too. He was a problem on the inside. Those two guys are going to be a hell of a 1-2 punch for the LA Rams in the future. But I got Jared Verse for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at this, like it's really the Eagles and the Rams. They drafted the best, but I'm taking Jared Verse. I'm with Jay. I mean, every time you turn on their tape, he shows up, he talks trash, he plays strong, he plays confident, he's relentless, he has no fear. I love watching him play on the edge. I think he's going to be a great player in this league for a long time, and he's the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Justin, who do you got?
Jared Verse has been incredible this year. I got to go with Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyanimo Bay, they call him. I think he's playing on that Eagles defense. He stepped up. Cooper DeJean has had a great year. I think Jared Verse is well deserving there as well. But I think Quinyon Mitchell has helped turn this Eagles defense around. Last year, you look at them, they struggled, and he's been a stud for them. But you're right. It's a two-guy race, I think, with Quinyon Mitchell and Jared Verse.
Got to go with Jared Verse. I mean, it's no question to me. What really sold me was what you already mentioned, Justin. He talked his talk going into this Philly game, and then he walked his walk. And every time he made a play, I don't know if you guys noticed it, he just looked at Philly's sideline the entire game. I'm like, this guy talked his shit going into the game, made his plays, and then let them know about it every single chance he could. Jared Verse, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's hop into this last one. NFL Coach of the Year. This could go to a bunch of different people. Let's start with you, Jay. NFL Head Coach of the Year.
Well, it's torn. Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn, and Kevin O'Connell. All three of them had great years. But I'm going to go with Dan Campbell, actually. They had an unbelievable record. They outscored their opponents by like 300 points. I mean, one of the greatest margin of victories in the history of the league. I mean, they just bludgeoned people. They made it to the number one seed. I know they lost to the Commanders, but I still think Dan Campbell, with what he had to deal with on defense, their ability to still score on offense and blow people away consistently, I vote for Dan Campbell.
This episode of Clean Pocket is sponsored by Roe. We all know the best gifts are experiences, especially for romantic holidays like Valentine's Day. Chocolates, stuffed animals, and flowers are overrated. What your partner really wants is real romance and great sex. Rose Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue. After they've dissolved, they work in 15 minutes on average. Roe connects guys with the medical provider 100% online, so there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. Be ready for play with Rose Sparks. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/pocket to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/pocket for $15 off your first order.
Yeah, these are all great, man. I played for Kevin. Dan Campbell's awesome. I love his mentality. I love how he coaches. But guys, come on, man. It's Andy Reid. Kidding me? He's going back to his third Super Bowl. They figured out ways to win this year in so many different ways. The success they've had, the sustained success they've had, Like, he's the reason. He obviously calls great plays on offense. He has a good feel for his team. And I just think it's an unbelievable job by Andy Reid and that staff. He's the coach of the year.
We might have 4 different picks on this one. This might be the first time on all these awards we've all disagreed. Let's go. Justin, who do you got?
I'm going Dan Quinn. I think it's a battle of the Dans. I think it's Dan Campbell versus Dan Quinn. You look what Dan Quinn has done setting the culture of the Commanders and changing that franchise and the trajectory they've been on. It's from the top down. And he came in and he wasn't everyone's first choice last year to become the head coach. They wanted Ben Johnson. They bring in Dan Quinn. He does nothing but turn the franchise around and get back to the NFC Championship game. Yes, I know this is a regular season award. And what they do, they went on to make it to the NFC Championship. They went out closing the year off strong. They did beat the Philadelphia Eagles towards the end of the year. So definitely an exciting future for the Washington Commanders, and it starts with the man up front, and that's Dan Quinn. I think he'll just edge out Dan Campbell.
All right, guys, I'm going to make it. We all got our own picks. This just shows how the quality of coaches in the NFL are few and far between, right? And when we look at this group is special. Every one of these guys could have won it. I'm going Kevin O'Connell. To go 14-3 in a regular season, and they were in every single game. Had a chance to beat Detroit minus that last one. To take a guy who was seeing ghosts in New York a couple years ago, to be on practice squad D tackle for the Carolina Panthers, essentially, and do what he did. And all I needed to do was see the one clip. You guys all saw it, where he told Sam to step away from the huddle. It was pure leadership, and I'm freaking proud of him, this, that, and the other. Like, I thought that was a pretty awesome moment to take a guy who was damn near a throwaway and just instill just a little bit more confidence, because if you can do that as a leader and make someone believe they're better than they are and do that with all 53, that's a damn good job as a head coach, in my opinion. So I think Kevin O'Connell should win it.
It's a great pick.
The best app for your big game party is on your phone. That's right. You and all of your friends could be feasting on Underdog. Ride together on stats like passing yards, first TDs, interceptions, and so much more. If you or your friends haven't joined Underdog yet, what are you waiting for? Whoever signs up today using code POCKET, capital P-O-C-K-E-T, will get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that's code POCKET for up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Head to the App Store and download Underdog today.